All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's virtual event. My name is Joe Grabowski. I'll be your host for today. We're really excited to have students joining us tonight and for students to tune into the event tomorrow. As you know, we're celebrating biodiversity, so we get to talk to explorers and scientists and conservationists from all over the world who are sharing their stories about biodiversity and the work that they're doing to protect ecosystems as well as the plants and animals that we find within them. We've got a really special treat for tonight. My good friend Ricardo Moreno is joining us from Panama in Central America. He is a wildlife biologist and National Geographic Explorer. He had an early fascination with cats, and that led to a career as a biologist and wildlife conservationist, studying wildcats in Costa Rica and Panama. He's probably done more tracking of jaguars and camera trapping than anybody else in Panama. And through his nonprofit organization, Jaguar, he studies wildcats. And he believes that the key to conserving them is to win over the locals who sometimes see the cats as enemies. So, Ricardo, it's so great to have you joining us live today. Thanks for spending a little bit of your evening with us.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you for everybody to be here. And as always, for me, it's a pleasure to do that because share the information with everybody is the thing of we if the thing of we really like to do, because I believe on that. I believe to share the information. Okay, I'm going to put the presentation. Okay. You can see Joe.
All right, looks good, Ricardo.
Okay. As you say, I am Ricardo Moreno. I'm the president and the principal researcher of the Fundación Yaguará Panama from Panama. I'm a research associated to Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute. I'm a research associated since 5-6 years ago to now. And as he say, I am a National Geographic emerging explorer as Joe too. I'm going to talk to you guys about the jaguar in Panama, advances in research, education, conservation, and resolution of the human-jaguar conflict, because it's the main process we are doing right now. But do you guys know what is Yaguará Panama? We are a scientific organization dedicated to the conservation of the jaguar and the forest where they live, as a key element for the health and survival of thousands of species of plants and animals. But you know, guys, including local people, which is one of the most important or the most important thing in this kind of work. Our work deals with changing people attitude and perception about the wildlife through scientific information, use technology, education, and working with local communities to improve coexistence between human being and wildlife. Our main objective is to save the jaguar, and for this we work to convince hunters, poachers, people of different kind of communities, governmental organization and institution, non-governmental organization, private sector, security force, among others, so that the jaguar does not disappear, which is crazy, is incredible what happened with that species. You are going to see how we work. As I told you, we are a scientific organization. We do scientific research and use the technology like camera traps and GPS radio collar to place on those animals, to try to see the movement of those animals and to identify how many jaguars are on a specific area, and at the same time the diversity of mammals on one or different places. We are doing coexistence between human wildlife things. Why? Because the jaguar have a really strong situation with the local people, especially with farmers, and we are doing with them anti-predator measures, technical assistance, and economic alternative. And all the data of we produce, we give to everybody in education, awareness, and dissemination of the information, because it's super important. Where do we work? Every single red dot you are seeing in this map of Panama in Central America, we set up camera traps in all of those places. Why we set up different places with camera traps? Because I was working in Costa Rica, and in 2012, I come back to my country and I say, if we want to know really what happened with those animals, we need new data. And we start working with the Ministry of Environment, with other organizations, especially national organization, but with international too. And right now, we have the biggest camera trapping survey in the whole country. And we are trying to know what is the status and the distribution of the jaguar in the country and other species. And this red circle is going to be one of our next place we are going to do another survey. It's very important area. But they face a lot of threats. One of them, in Panama, we lost 40% of natural habitats. Habitat fragmentation, look at this. It's quite crazy. Roadkill animals. Guys, if you saw your dad driving super fast, telling in a good way, dad, mom, please slow down because we can kill one animal on a road. And we're doing that a lot with the kids and with high school guys. Decrease of his natural prey. Jaguar predate on peccaries, on deers, on tapirs, which is the main prey. But if they don't have enough prey to eat, they are going to eat something. And sometimes it's domestic animals. But at the same time, here in Panama and in the whole range of the jaguar, you can find illegal poaching. And we are doing a lot of things with the Minister of Environment and with other agencies of United Nations trying to prevent that in our country. It's very, very bad for the jaguars and the other species and for all of us, because jaguar is important in the ecosystem. And the ecosystem give it to us two minimum things: water and oxygen. Imagine. And the jaguar are part of this. And after that, we have that. Imagine, guys. They are not pets. They are not pets. The place of them is the forest, and the ecosystem is the place of them, not in the house of the people. As I told you, illegal trafficking of skin and jaguar parts is very amazing and it's very crazy. We are like doing, for example, guys, what is the we are doing like CSI, because we need to find people under the table, to trying to follow them and to trying to find places with people doing the illegal stuff. And is sometimes it's hard, but sometimes it's quite fine if you know, if you know and you have a good contact with local people. Local people can help you in different ways in this kind of work. But the jaguar in this moment is critical in danger in my country. And guys, I have a daughter. My daughter have 2 years old. And one of my dream is walk with her in the forest of my country and to try to find jaguar tracks. And I'm working really hard because I want this dream in my life with her. And if we want you guys, for example, if you are coming to my country, I hope you can see the tracks of the jaguar and the other species in my country. But we need to still continue working really, really hard. For example, in Panama Centro, you see in the center of the map of Panama is red. Is because the situation in the center of my country is really, really bad, because a lot of roads, a lot of fragmentation, a lot of illegal poaching around the protected areas. But we are working to trying to reduce that. It's very hard to save all of them or to cut everything, but the minimum thing we can do is to minimize those problems. And for example, if you see the light blue is in the whole country and around the forest. Light blue means human jaguar conflict. Imagine, guys, it's in the whole country, the situation, because it's the very bad management of the land of people who have a domestic animal, mainly like cows and other domestic farms animals. And this is the main problem of the jaguar livestock, human wildlife conflict is crazy. For example, between 1989 to 2021, we know about 370 jaguar had been killed in my country, mainly by human wildlife conflict. But this is the number of the jaguar we know. Could be is twice that number. And this year, I have people report to us, and we check in the field. 4 jaguar had been killed in 2021, and in 2020 was 11 jaguars. And we are trying to reduce that, and we are working really hard on that. We have an agreement with the Ministry of Environment of Panama, but I've started working with them since 1998 to trying to talk about this. And at the same time, I was finishing the university and my bachelor degree in biology, and after that I jumped to a master degree working in to minimize conflict between the people and the wildlife. And look at this. Before the pandemic, under this agreement, we have a program for the preventive management of livestock jaguar conflict. And between the Minister of Environment and Yaguará, Panama, we attend 133 cases. And in the pandemic, from March 8th of 2020, we attend 34 cases. It was very crazy because the lockdown here, and I cannot go to the field. I was talking with my friends inside the Ministry of Environment and say, we need to do something because the jaguars still have some problem with some local people. And we use WhatsApp and we use telephones to do that. Most of the people, I have around 2,500 contact in my WhatsApp line. And we have an agreement with the environmental policeman, and at the same time with the SENAFRON, which is the policeman of the border of the country, to Costa Rica, Panama, Costa Rica, and Panama, Colombia. And we have a group, we call them promoters, environmental promoters for the conservation of the jaguar in Darien and in Chepo, two very strong and hard places to do this kind of work, because people don't believe jaguar is important. And if they don't believe the jaguar is important, we need to tell them it's very important, the jaguar. And we have at the same time one of the very long-term project of us is the biological monitoring of the jaguar and other wildcats and their main prey in Darien National Park. We start like a very small survey in 2012, but we started monitoring since 2014, and we still have this project. It's a long-term monitoring to know and to see how many jaguars are on that area and how many different species which are main prey of jaguar on the place, and trying to see a lot of scientific information through the camera traps. This is amazing program. I love it. And look at this. This is the giant anteater, a very strange animal, but I love it. It's very important species. He eats ants and termites. He's a very important animal in the forest, but people kill them because they don't know the animal very well, and they think the animal is related with the devil. Imagine, guys, it's crazy. But to minimize people killing that species, it's important to explain them how important is that species. And this is the way to do that. This is the wily peccary, one of the main prey of the jaguar. Wily peccary can make groups around 50, 100, and sometimes more than 200 individuals in a single herd. And jaguar walk very close to those herds to trying to kill one every 1 week. Imagine, and the jaguar maintain the balance of the numbers of the wily peccary in those places because wily peccary eat on seeds of palms of palms tree and on other species of trees. But if the jaguar are not on the forest, the population of the wild peccary is going to be super mega abundant and are going to eat every single seed they found. And this is not good too. And this is the thing of to trying to keep jaguars on this kind of forest to he can continue doing his job inside the forest, which is make a balance on these kind of animals. And look at that. This is one of the biggest jaguar we have inside Darien National Park. Some months ago. It's a very big animal. We have data of this animal since 2015 in the project in Darien. It's a very big guy. And you can hear the rain. It's crazy. And in the bottom, you can see the date was 29th of March of this year. I love it. I really, guys, really sorry, guys. I really love when I saw this kind of videos. And this is the very far area inside Darien National Park. This is another jaguar in another place inside Darien National Park. We call that place Palo de Letra. This is a place the indigenous, the Emberá indigenous, who helped us to do this work since the beginning of this work. They have different names of the different areas and trails we work. But since 2014, we work with the local people in different parts of the country. As I told you guys, it's very important to work always with the people and to hear them. And in the moment we knew, like the main problem the main problem of the jaguar, the reduction of the population of the jaguar, if the conflict between people and jaguars, we design an implementation of a program for the preventive management of livestock jaguar conflict in 5 select areas of my country. And those 5 areas, we choose them is because those areas was the area who have more jaguar killed by people. And this work, we start with the Minister of Environment in 2018. Every single red square is a place with a livestock farm with management plans in the country. It's the first project with that in my country. And we set up camera traps in all of those farms to show to them, hey, if you don't save your animal and you don't protect your animal and you release them inside the forest, those forests have the jaguars. And your very bad management for the jaguar is going to be a prey for them. The probability of the jaguar to kill one domestic animal inside the forest is very high. And they say like, oh, wow, Ricardo, you're right. I saw the jaguar track, but I never realized, like seeing in a video, for example. And this is very important to have these kind of tools, pictures, videos. Videos can change the perceptions of the people about wildlife. Hear this. I don't know if you hear the video. Joe, you hear?
It's really quiet, Ricardo. Can you turn it any louder?
Okay, I will.
Oh, your headphones. I wonder if you take the headphones off, if it'll be louder.
For at least an hour. You
That's
hear?
better.
It's better.
Yeah.
I will start again.
Sure.
They don't like to watch the animal, but in the moment they see the animal, they always say, yes, it's crazy because that day we went there and the animal was walking around the house around 75 meters was the farthest part the jaguar to us inside the house. Jaguar don't kill people, just people need to take care because it's a wild animal. Is one thing I am disseminate this information because sometimes people have a lot of fear. When when the people have a lot of fear, sometimes kill the animal just because people say, oh, the jaguar. Well, guys, in Panama and in Central America and South America, most of the time people call the jaguar the tiger. And this is not a tiger, it's a jaguar. And in Panama, no one had been killed by a jaguar, even in Costa Rica and in other places. But still people say that. And we need to change the mind of the people. It's quite hard because if you hear like for someone else, like since you are very young, oh, take care because the tigre kill people. Imagine one kid of 4 years old start growing, hearing that until be an adult person. They are going to think that happened, which is not true. And this is part of our work, trying to change this kind of mind. And to prevent local farmer lose animals, we put electric fence to prevent livestock from jaguars and other carnivore. If you can see, it's like 6 line, this electric fence, the jaguar touch and the jaguar go back. And the electricity don't make a damage on the animal, even of the cows. And this is one of the main things we are doing in 3 different farms right now of the 18 we have. But this year and next year, we're going to put around 6 more farms, which is a very good for us. This is another entrepreneurial measure. Look at this. Jaguar. Look at this. You can hear. For example, jaguar is an animal who don't like to hear noise. And if the cattle, if some cattle have bells, the jaguar cannot be close to them because they don't like the noise. And that's work in different places and here in Panama too. But how GPS telemetry help us find answers? We use that tool too. We put GPS collar on different mammals in Panama, not only in jaguars. We put in pumas, in coyotes, in wild peccaries, and in ocelot, because we need to learn about the movement pattern of those animals to try to help the local people. This is the puma palma that happens in Darien. Every single dot you see and the gray thing, the red and the gray thing, is the area of that jaguar was using. This jaguar, the Puma Palma, used more than 200 square kilometers. A big area is 20,000 hectares. Imagine. Sorry, it's a big area. But if we want to conserve a species within protected areas and private areas or corridor, it is important to work on many species in many aspects, such as tourism. This is a very good alternative. And we are doing a lot of expedition to Darien with local people and with people from other places of the world. We are doing scientific tourism with the Smithsonian Channel and with other organizations. But the main stuff we are doing is community tourism. For example, in Chagres National Park, in Quebrada Ancha, in Darien, and we have around 2-3 different places right now in different areas of the country, because people need to see what is the benefit to have the jaguar roaming his farm of his areas. For example, look at those guys. Those guys, we start working with them since 6 years again. I see, since 6 years ago to now, And those guys are a little bit bigger, but right now they made very nice plaster cast of jaguar track, and they sell them to tourists on that area. This is one of the things we are doing, and we like it a lot. We train, as I told you, we are training a lot of people of environmental promoter for the conservation of the jaguar in Darien and in Chepo. The United Nations are helping us a lot. And we have right now a special fund for the conservation of the big cats at the community level. It's a very important project. Right now we have 7 community-based organizations of different places of the country working to trying to save the jaguar on my country. This is very, very cool. I love it. I love it. But at the same time, we have another project with Suniverse called Wildcat Darien. Every single picture and videos from Darien, we give it to them and they upload it in the Suniverse Wildcat Darien. It's with the Howard Hughes Medical Institute. It's very nice. It's for education. We disseminate information to everybody, to the policemen, to local people, to every single people ask me to do a talk. Like right now, we can do that, and we do it. We do more than 50 talk every year, more than 30 workshop every day, because we need to change a lot of mind. We need to change a lot of people. And to do that, we need to be like a drop in a rock. Always give the information, always give to everybody the information if we want to change this world. And we have, this is very nice project too. Well, all of them, I love all the project we are doing right now. Using technology to minimize the conflict between humans and big cats in Panama. We set camera traps on the farms, and at the same time, we're placing traps to capture jaguars in the farm. And this is Chukunake, the first jaguar with a GPS collar in my country. We have a lot of data. We have data of her. We captured her inside a farm, and she moved in more than 20 farms, guys. And it's very important to talk with all of those farmers to prevent they kill her, because she have the second leader of we know, because in the moment of we capture her, she had 2 babies, and the babies grow, and right now she have 1 more baby, and it's crazy. This is a video of her in 2019. She's still alive. We have a very nice video of her 2 months ago. Look at her. She looks lovely, no? And this is one of of her boyfriend. We call him the, I don't know what is the way to say el tuerto, is because he don't have 1 eye, and he's one of the boyfriend of her. But as I told you to everybody, we must follow our dreams. Guys, follow your dream. I want to collar animal. I want to set up camera trap since I had 5 years old. And right now I realize like we need to do what we want to do, but at the same time we need to work a lot with the local people. Because if you want to change everything, you can do everything of you want in terms of scientific information and conservation, but you need to include the local people. They have the last word in this kind of situation. Coexistence is possible, but depends on us, guys. In all of us, in every single of you depends the coexistence between wildlife and people. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
All right, Ricardo, thanks so much for sharing that with us. It's really exciting to see, well, not only that you followed your passion to study big cats, but you're doing good things with it and finding a way so that there's a future for them, that they can coexist with people and still be in their natural habitat. So yeah, I know it's not always easy work, and I know there's bad days, but I know there's lots of good days too.
Exactly. It's true. It's true. I love and I enjoy a lot my work, and as explorer of National Geographic, one of the things of I really love it is to be in a new place always.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks ago, I've been in a place in my country I never been before, and I was happy, and I see like it's the thing I say in the beginning. You need to keep working to trying to follow your dream, and if you believe on that, you can do it, and you can have that.
Absolutely. So I want to turn things over. We do have some students joining us tonight. So if you do have some questions for Ricardo about jaguars, about the work he does to protect the jaguars, you can raise your hand virtually and I can pick you and you can unmute your mic and ask a question, or you can type it into the chat if you're a little bit shy to unmute your microphone and I can read the question out to Ricardo. So if you do have any questions out there, don't be shy to ask questions about the jaguar, because they are such beautiful, beautiful, beautiful animals. And, you know, you touched on this a little bit, Ricardo. They're really important for the ecosystem. They're the top predator,
Exactly.
and they keep things in control, right? If you don't have those top predators, then the whole ecosystem can fall apart.
Exactly. That's true, Joe. It's super important because the jaguar is part of the puzzle, because it's very important to have jaguars, wild peccaries, bats, birds, fungi, ants, termites. Everything is important for the biodiversity we have. But at the end, the biodiversity and the forest and the whole ecosystem give it to us the thing we need for life.
Yeah.
This is really important.
All right. I see a couple hands have come up. Angels, you want to go ahead and unmute your microphone?
When you were small, did you think jaguars would like want to eat people?
Well, not really. It's a good question, because thanks God, my brother, he is like 2.5 years older than me, and I don't know why, but when I have 4 to 5 years old, he started in love and crazy with the wild animals, and I'm very close to him, and always he told me like, Ricardo, next Saturday is going to in the TV channel is going to they are going to put a National Geographic documentary about lions, cheetahs, or whatever, and I was like just like this, like, really? And I was so excited to see the documentary. Only Saturday, every one per month, around 7 to 8 a.m. Super early. But even that, we wake up super early in the morning to trying to see that. And after that, my aunt, one of my aunt, she gave to me and to my brother bunch of magazines of National Geographic. And in that time, well, my English is not perfect. You can hear me. And I never read English in that moment. And I love the pictures, and I started in love with the pictures. And I was like, I want to be a person working with National Geographic or whatever. And in 2017, when the people of Nat Geo write to me, and I just cry like, Jesus Christ, wow, amazing. I can't believe that. And going back to your question, I never hear that really. Well, I hear when I grow a little bit more, like 12 to 15 years old, but in my mind, I had, other ideas in my mind. And when I start like 15 years old to more, I read more about the jaguars and the other felines, and I see like, no, I think it's not true. And when I go to the university, I start reading scientific papers, and I say, well, yes, it's not true. It's not true. With the jaguars.
I think that's so important, Ricardo, is that a lot of people, they hear stories and they don't learn for themselves. They don't read for themselves to see if it's true.
Exactly.
So I think that happens with sharks a lot. People see movies and they think, oh, sharks are so
Yes.
dangerous. They're always attacking people. But when you do a little research, you find out that those shows, those movies, what you hear isn't always accurate.
Exactly. That's true. You know, you are talking about movies. Is crazy, guys. For example, in the 70s, one of the very famous movies was Jaw. Was like a shark, a big shark, and killing people and blah blah blah. And the other one was Orca, the killer whale. Imagine in the 70s and was crazy. And imagine, for example, one example of my life. 3 years ago, I was watching a small clip of someone else swimming in the ocean, and I saw like 3 orcas very close to the person, and one part of my heart was like, Jesus Christ, in my mind, Jesus Christ is going to kill the people. And another part of my brain say like, no, it's not going to happen. Yeah, they are so intelligent, the orcas, and it's not going to happen. But was a fighting, but that fighting is because the movie, because I saw the movie when I was super young and I don't understand what happened. But right now I know is that not happened. You need to think, okay, they are wild animals. You need to take care because they are not pets, as I told you. But yeah, but you need to try to find the best person or the best documentary to tell to you the truth. Everything in the media, a lot of things are not true. You need to take care about this.
All right. So I see Rebos has her hand up. Do you want to unmute your microphone?
How much jaguars are still alive?
Well, it's a really good question. Thank you for the question. In Panama, we don't know really how many jaguars, for example, in Panama, but in Darien, we have a number because we have this monitoring since a long time ago. We think we have around 250 jaguars. This is an estimation, but right now I'm super happy because we have a funding with the Ministry of Environment and with United Nations, and we are going to do a very big survey to trying to see how many jaguars are in Panama. And next year, or no, really, in 2.5 or 3 years, we have the result. But one paper of one of my colleagues in 2018, he used my data, he used the data of other researchers in Costa Rica and in the all the 18 countries who have jaguars, and he realized and do an estimation, and he found like could be around 60,000 jaguars in the whole range. But we need to do more research to have that data more accurate.
So you said, possibly around 200, 250 jaguars still in Panama. What would you estimate if it was, a nice healthy population? What should it be? What do you think it could be?
Could be more than 1,000 using the size of my country.
Yeah.
The estimation using the data, which is not it's not good and it's not accurate and it's not scientific, transpolate the data of Darien to the whole country. But I know people wants to know about that number, and using the extrapolation to have estimation, we think we have between 700 to 1,000 jaguars, but could be less than 1,000 right now.
All right. Aisha, I see your hand is up. Do you want to go ahead and ask a question?
Hello, I can hear you. Okay.
Do the animals you talked us about, do they hurt people?
No, really not. If you are in the forest, if you want to walk in the forest, you can walk in the forest, but with people know the forest. For example, with the ranger, with the biologists like me, with the local people who know the area, because they are wild animals. But I saw in front of me around 11 jaguars and 9 pumas in my life, and I'm still here. Nothing happens. You know, I always tell to the people, when you saw a jaguar, you need to be, have the distance, because again, this is a wild animal. Keep the distance always, but be with other people. And if you have your cellular phone in your hand, take a picture, because can be like 1, 2, 3 to 5 seconds, and after that maybe you cannot see it in your life. For example, I always talk with local people, and this is one of my questions to the local people: how many years you have living here? And they say like, well, I have 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. And how many jaguars you saw in those years? And they say, well, some people told me I live here 30 years and I never saw a jaguar. I saw the tracks, but I never saw a jaguar. But sometimes people say, well, I saw 2 times in 25 years or 3 times in 50 years. They are very shy. They don't want to see people. They are super shy, and they really they have fear to human.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing with sharks. When you jump in the water and scuba dive with sharks, you're lucky if they stick around. They're curious, but then they're like, I don't know what you are. I'm out of here. So you want to take that picture really quick so you can remember the moment. All right.
Yes.
Well, we're almost at the time where we're going to let Ricardo go for the evening. If there's any last minute questions, feel free to put your hand up and we'll squeeze one more in. But just in case there isn't, Ricardo, I'm going to ask you one more question before we wrap up. And, I think it's one that students think about a lot because, sometimes we're cut off from nature. We don't always get to see what we have living around us. So I'm wondering if you have any advice for students who want to maybe get out more and see a little bit more of the nature around them and how they can protect their own community, how they can protect what's close to them.
Yeah, guys, the first thing I think, using my life as example, is if you know something, share the information. Because if you know something very well, because maybe your neighbor, they don't know the thing you know, and it's very important to share with everybody. And if you have, like, for example, a school around or something like this, and you study something, you can make a small presentation and talk to the teachers, or even to your school. Or after the talk I'm doing right now to you guys, you can prepare a talk of your topic and show to your fathers, to the people. The thing is, the world is changing a lot and very fast. And if you have something to bring to the people, is, bring new information, but true information. This is super important. And if you have a small patch of forest around your area, maybe you can go to Walmart with your mom or dad, and you can find a very small camera traps, and you can see what happened in your backyard. This is quite very, very important and very nice. And you can share the information with the neighbors, with the people around. And if you find a species, you can do a research of the species you found in your backyard, and you can teach other people. Teaching is so important. It's one of the best things of the world. I am very, very happy to have Joe as a friend, because I share the information with tons of people. Thanks him. Really, Joe, thank you very much.
All right. Well, Ricardo, I am thrilled to have you as a friend. There's a picture of you on my wall, Ricardo. Look at this. There we go. That's us back in 2017.
Woohoo!
That's me over there, and there's Ricardo. That's where we first met with National Geographic. Pretty cool.
Exactly. Yes. Wow. Yeah. Nice. I will do the same thing in my house. Thank you. Take it to share to me that.
All right. Well, Ricardo, thank you. Well, first, I want to say thank you to the students who joined today and to the students who are going to watch the video tomorrow. Thank you for being interested and curious about nature and biodiversity and the world around you. And then, Ricardo, just a huge thank you to you. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for your passion. And
Thank
of
you.
course, thank you for sharing it with the future generations, because it's so important they learn about, our planet and what's happening, and so they can do something to help.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Thanks, Joe. Guys, thank you very much. Nice to meet you, and have a good night.
All right.
And remember, follow your dreams, guys. Follow your dreams.
All right. Excellent. Well, Ricardo, thank you. Have a great night. Have a great night, students, and we'll see you in our next event. Thanks,
Ciao,
everyone.
guys. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
See
Have
ya.
fun.
Bye.
Okay, you have a good night. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you on Saturday. We have another big fun event coming on Saturday.